Hi, Laura. Thanks for coming in today.
Hey, Shreya. No problem.
How are you?
I'm good.
Well, this is the first time I'm meeting you, so go ahead. Tell me a bit about yourself.
So I am a senior this year, 18. I am really involved in dance. I'm in a couple other academic clubs at school, but I'm on the dance team. I'm the captain.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a prestigious position.
Yeah, thanks. I've been on the dance team for a couple years, so it was really cool to get promoted to do that.
I'm sure that's an accomplishment.
Thank you, yeah. Let's see what else I have. A dog. Yeah, I think that's kind of it.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, one.
Oh, okay.
I have an older brother.
Oh, that's nice.
He's a couple years older. He's going to school a few hours away, so I don't get to see him that often, but we're pretty close.
That's great. So I know that you wanted to come in to talk about something.
Yeah. So graduation is coming up, and I just kind of having a hard time with my parents right now. I feel like they don't understand what I want. We're just disagreeing on some stuff. And I don't feel like they hear me when I talk about what it's going to look like for me after graduation.
So you feel like your parents aren't listening to you when you're telling them that you're having these issues?
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of speaking different languages at points. I'm talking and they're hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth, but they're not really listening. They're not really understanding.
Can you tell me a bit more about what it is that you're having issues with that they're not listening about?
Yeah, so I told you I was on the dance team, I've danced growing up, all that. I want to pursue a career in dance. I've had a lot of feedback from instructors, and they've said they think it's something that I would have a shot at, which they don't tell everybody. But my parents, college is it's what I'm going to do. It's what they've always thought I would do. They don't see there being any other option once I graduate.
So it seems like on one hand, you want to pursue dance as a career, but they want you to solely focus on college as an option.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of conflict in pursuing the future.
Yeah. That's always been what I would do. I'm doing well in school. It's not that I don't like academics. It's just that's not all of who I am, and it seems like they think you have to go to college. They think if I don't go now, I'm never going to go, and I don't think that's true, but they're having a hard time seeing any other possible option right now.
Have your parents been supportive of dancing in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. They love that I dance. It's not that they don't like dance. They just don't like that as a career option for me. It's that you go to college. In my family, that's what you do. You don't have an option. They're fine with me dancing for fun. Dancing as a career kind of seems like it's a different thing for them.
But dancing for you is more than that.
Yeah.
It seems really important to you.
Yeah, I love it. I feel like I come alive when I dance, and I think I could make it. I mean, you hear about people going and dancing, and I know I'll have to get a job. Besides that, I know that that's not necessarily steady income, but I feel like if I don't give it a shot, I'm going to always wish I had done it. So, I don't know. They've kind of said, we can't financially support you if you decide to do this, but I mean, I don't think I need their support. I think I can make it. I'm a hard worker. I can pull a couple extra shifts, and I think I'll be able to find dance jobs.
Wow, well, Laura, it sounds like you're very dedicated to dance. And it sounds like you're hardworking, you have a plan, you're not willing to let any obstacles hold you back. So that's great. It's hard to find passion in people, so it sounds like you have a lot of that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just hard that it feels like my obstacle are my parents. And that, I don't know, I feel like I can do it, but they've always been so supportive of me. I don't know what it would be like to have them not support me or not care about what I'm doing. I don't know. I mean, I'm about to be 18, and when I move out of the house, I can do whatever. I'll be an adult, so I can make it if I need to.
So it sounds on one hand, they've been supportive about everything you've done your whole life,
Yeah.
and you really have counted on their support and depended on them up to now. And now that you have all this freedom, you think that you might be able to do it on your own, but it seems like a part of you still wants their approval and their support in this. So it sounds like maybe you do actually want them to believe in you and support that this could be a career.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
I think you're right. I mean, as much as I want to be an adult and I want to go after my dreams and I want to be able to move to a city by myself and fully support myself, I'm kind of scared, to be honest. They have always been there. They have always supported me. I don't know what it would be like to have to do it on my own because I haven't yet. So, I don't know. It would be weird to do something totally independent of that net that I've always had.
It's kind of out of the norm for you.
Yeah.
I can imagine how discouraging it might be not to have their support and how overwhelming and scared you must be to be making such a big decision at this point in your life. It's something completely new, and just having their support would probably mean a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think if I moved out there, there's this other girl at my studio, and she's thinking about making a career of it too. So I think I would have her, but that seems really different than having my parents and financial support. I mean, they've always been there if a bill comes up and I can't pay it, or stuff happens with my car. They've always kind of been there to bail me out, and a roommate isn't necessarily going to bail you out. So
it sounds like your potential roommate is a support system that you could have, and you could relate to her with the dance passion.
Yeah.
But with your parents, there's always been this security with them, and you can always fall back on them no matter what.
For sure. It feels like running out of the security that I've known in the past, and that's kind of exciting and kind of scary at the same time. I don't know if they're right, if I should just wait, but they say these are the years that you can make a career of dance. You don't really see too many professional dancers that are over 30. So I feel like if I don't go now, when am I going to go?
So now I see age being a factor as well in this. So there's a lot of different things going on right now. Let me take a step back and kind of give you what it sounds like to me. So it sounds like you're very passionate about dance. It's something that you do want to pursue after graduation, and you're great at it. You've had practice your whole life. Your instructors think you can make it.
Yeah.
You have all this support from a lot of people telling you to make it, but your parents are kind of this obstacle, and you really do want their support. But at the same time, if you wait around for their support, then you might not. You might lose out on the years that your body can dance. So let's focus on maybe if you did pursue dance without your parents' support, what would that be like for you? How important is your parents' support for you?
Yeah, it is really important. Dance has always been a dream of mine, but they've always been the ones in the front row cheering me on. So if I danced and they 100% cut off all support, I think if they cut off financial support, I'd be okay. I think if they cut off emotional support, which they're not threatening to do, I don't know, I'll be in a different city and I don't know how close they'll be. If they cut off emotional support, it would be really hard for me. I'm not sure that it would so much be an option for me. So yeah, I guess it is important to me to have that emotional connection from them.
Yeah, it sounds like something that you really value.
Yeah, I do. They've been kind of a source of strength And, growing up, they're who paid for my dance classes. They're who drove me to dance until I could drive. And they've always been really supportive of me going after whatever I was passionate about. So to not have that, I think, would change how willing I am to go. Yeah.
Whenever you approach your parents about this and about your interest in pursuing it, do you get a lot of negative feedback?
They're still really supportive of dance. So they're not negative about me wanting to dance. They more suggest that that becomes kind of an extracurricular thing for me. For them, it's totally an option if I go to college and I'm dancing while I'm in college. Or actually, they're pretty cool about even if I majored in dance. They don't really care what I have a degree in as long as I have a degree. So it's not dance that they have negativity towards. It's not getting a degree right now. And they're willing to pay for my college right now. And if I went, I don't know, I just feel like I don't have a guarantee. If I went and danced for a couple years and came back, I mean, by then I'll be, 22, and, I don't know if they're going to be willing to pay for my college at that point. So it kind of seems like there's a lot of time pressure for me around it.
So it sounds like they are willing to support you in dance. If you want to major in it, they just want you to have a degree, it seems, for security purposes.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered majoring in dance? Because it seems to me that for you it's either dance or college, but maybe it could be both if that was an option you could see yourself doing.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't really thought about majoring in it before. I think because the colleges around my hometown, the colleges around where we live, don't have great dance programs. But, maybe if I looked into other ones, I know New York has a lot of great dance programs. No, I hadn't ever considered going to school for dance. Those had always been separate things for me.
And there's also dance scholarships out there that you could apply for. So financially you could get aid if you wanted to pursue dance. So there are a lot of options.
That's true. I hadn't thought about those yet.
To your parents, is it more of the security of a plan?
For them? Yeah. I think if I go to college now, it's like a guaranteed done. That's when people go to college, is right after they graduate. I think they're more scared for me that if I don't go right away, I'm not going to go at all. And they both have college degrees. My mom's in education, so education's really important to them. I think it just seems like for them, if I deviate away from the plan, I may never get back on it. Which I don't necessarily feel like that, but I think that's what they're most scared of. Because they're not scared of dance, they're just scared of me trading college for dance.
So Laura, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself dancing, or do you see yourself being able to handle all of the new things college comes with and dancing? It sounds like you hadn't thought about going to college right after graduation, and that maybe your desire was to solely focus on dance, but I want to hear what you want to do.
I think that seeing how important my parents' support is to me, and I don't love thinking about the idea of moving off and just having that roommate and not having them. I think I would be interested in seeing if there are any competitive dance programs at schools that would offer me a degree that I could get into. I know the ones around here aren't great, but I think if I had my parents' support, I would be okay moving farther to go to a better program.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're not totally opposed to going somewhere for a program if it could benefit you in your dance career.
Yeah, I guess I'm not. I think that kind of takes away some of the fear about not having my parents' support. but then I don't have to sacrifice my dream either. Yeah, I'm not totally opposed to it.
So now it sounds like that maybe with your parents' support, you could be willing to branch out and try to go to a program for dance. But is it something that you'd be doing just to solely have your parents' support? Or something that you are interested in for yourself?
I don't really care about getting a degree right off. I do care about having their support. I also do care about pursuing the dream of dance. So I think right now it seems like that's the best way to not have to compromise the things that are really important to me. But it is more me doing what I feel like they would want than necessarily what I would want. I would want to move and to just do dance and to do it as a career, but also to have my parents' support. So if that's the only way I can get both, I guess I'm willing to kind of change what I thought would happen.
So you said you're kind of willing to make sacrifices for your parents. But I noticed that you're looking down while you said that, and I don't really get the sense that that's what you want. Do you think that's right?
Yeah, I think I'm willing to do it. I don't think I want to do it. I've always wanted to move to LA and, pursue dance there. And, I don't know. I don't really want to more. I feel like I have to if I want to keep my dream of dance, keep my parents' support. It kind of feels like that's my only option right now.
So you feel that you don't have that many choices if you want to fulfill your dream, that there's only one path kind of for you.
Yeah. It seems like I have to trade off. It feels like I get dance or I get support or I get college. It doesn't seem like there's any way to make all those happen at the same time.
Yeah, it has to be kind of frustrating for you. Nobody should have to sacrifice their dream.
Yeah, thanks. It is frustrating and it feels discouraging. I mean, I've worked so hard, being on the dance team all those years and juggling my role of student and being in dance for all the years that I've done it. It kind of feels like now I have to throw it down the drain. So it is discouraging to realize that.
Yeah, I can imagine that, just doing dance your whole life and being so passionate, always having this dream about being a dancer in the future, maybe being in a big city and in productions, and that's always been your goal. So to have to compromise it for anything is a letdown.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like a letdown. I guess I just feel stuck. I mean, I feel like I said before, I feel like I can have one and not the other, and it doesn't seem like I'm going to get to have it all. So I feel like I'm going to have to give up something that I want.
And I can see even by telling me earlier that you are willing to move somewhere else and pursue college, how much you do care about your parents' support, or you wouldn't be willing to do all of that.
Yeah.
So it is something that you truly value. And now just having to struggle with maybe having to make that sacrifice in order to keep their support is something that you're willing to do, but not that you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, the whole dancing in college, dancing into school thing, I know a girl that did that, and she actually got offered jobs afterwards. So even though it's not what I originally wanted, I know that it's a possibility. Yeah.
Have you looked into options for schools and maybe with dance studios around them?
No, I haven't. I think I feel like I was gonna have to pick, so it didn't feel worth it to figure out another option. I actually hadn't even thought of going to school for dance until you said it. So yeah, that may be something I'm willing to look into.
It feels like every time I bring up school, you get kind of negative and you kind of shut down a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there any reason maybe that you could think of where this negative stigma of school is coming from?
I think that it just feels like settling. I think that part of me feels like I have to do it to please my parents. So even though going to school for dance would be doing kind of what both of us want, I don't know, I just know that it's not really what I wanted. So I think school feels like having to change my dream to fit what somebody else wants for me and not really what I want for me. Yeah. I mean, maybe I could talk to that friend. She really loved it. I mean, we always, all through dance, had the same feelings. We both always wanted to end up in LA. She didn't really want to go to college either, but her parents actually found her this performing arts college, and she did have a positive experience with it.
Okay.
So I watched her do it, and it didn't seem like her dream had to die. So I don't know, maybe that could change how I felt about school. I think school's always been so academic for me. I've never been to a performing arts school. That I think, to me, there's school and there's dance and there's not both. So I think that's why I feel kind of down about school. But I do know that performing arts school is different. And so I feel a little bit more hopeful about that option.
Okay, so I'm sensing a lot of different feelings here. And maybe there is a little bit of hope because the school you've been to has been purely academic based. And for you to base other school options for you, you only have that to base it off of. But you have this friend that maybe could help you get some insight into what it is like to go to performing arts school.
Yeah. I could definitely talk to her about it. I mean, she got a job from it. It can't be all bad. Then I wouldn't have to sacrifice my parents' emotional support. I would still be getting a degree like they've asked me to. And I mean, you know the whole age thing, so I won't be able to dance for forever. So I guess there is some validity in my parents saying it'd probably be good for me to have a degree.
So now it seems like maybe I feel like you're being able to put yourself in your parents' shoes about the security that they keep on reiterating. Because you just told me that age is something that you can only do up to a certain point with dance. So that's great that you just realized that having a degree after you get to a certain age could possibly benefit you.
Yeah, I mean, I had always kind of not wanted to do college because it was what they told me I needed to do and not really what I wanted to do myself. But I will eventually be too old to dance, and who they could be right that I could need a degree after I dance. Just doesn't seem so bad after all.
Okay, so when you first came in here, Lora, it sounded like you were really confused and you were kind of at a crossroads. You could either pick dance as a career option and go into a studio and work for a production, or you could go to school. But then throughout our discussion, it sounded like maybe the two could be merged almost, and that hadn't really seemed like an option in the beginning.
Yeah, I felt kind of backed into a corner until you mentioned school, and then it felt like maybe I didn't have to give it up and do only what my parents wanted. Maybe I didn't have to cut off my parents and do only what I wanted. Now it seems like there could be a way to do both. That feels a lot better.
I'm sensing a lot of optimism.
Yeah, definitely. School wasn't anything I'd ever planned on doing, but school where my classes are dance. You know, I love dance, and if it got me with the right directors to get hired after, I mean, that's not even really slowing down my dance career that much. They could potentially even introduce me to people that I wouldn't be able to meet if I hadn't gone to that school. So maybe it could be a good networking thing too.
I'm seeing you bring up positives and maybe advantages that you could have if you were to pursue going to performing arts school for dance, that just going to dance by yourself without school wouldn't possibly give you.
Yeah, I guess it's not all bad.
Yeah. It seems like maybe talking to your friend that's in this school could even maybe further reconfirm or reassure you of these things, or maybe just to get some more insight.
Yeah, I think that'd be really helpful. We grew up at the same studio, so she took all the same classes as me. She could tell me how hard it would be, and she could probably even tell me if I had good odds of getting in, or, you know, I think she could potentially be a really good resource for what school I should apply to, or if I do get in, what to do while I'm there.
She sounds like a really good mentor for you.
Yeah.
The way you talk about her, seems like you really look up to her.
Yeah, I do. She's super helpful. She's always kind of looked out for me. I think would make moving to a different state feel less scary too, because I'd have somebody there that I knew.
Yeah. There's all these positives about just considering your options that I'm already getting from you.
Yeah.
Having her there as a support system, and then having all this insight before you go to a new place about this program that you might potentially look into.
Yeah.
Be at an advantage too, almost.
Yeah. It doesn't sound so bad now.
Yeah, and from earlier when we were discussing your strengths, you sound very determined and very willing to follow your dream. And I mean, you're 18 years old, but you're willing to go to another state and pursue something that you love, and that takes a lot of courage.
Thanks. Yeah. I guess I didn't think of that as any different from anybody else, but I think my parents being such a good support for me has always kind of helped me do things I was uncomfortable with, and I think knowing that I'll go there and I'll still have their support because I'll still be getting a degree, I think that will help me as I kind of transition out of the house too.
Yeah. You said that it doesn't sound any different than from someone else. What did you mean by that? Seems like you were downplaying the positive attributes.
I guess I just thought everybody was willing to move and, you know, thinking about their future and would go after their dreams. I didn't really know that was kind of unique to me. I guess I never thought about it like that.
Are there people that you know of that are moving away after graduation?
Yeah, you know, my brother did. He moved out as soon as he graduated, so I kind of got to see him do that. I have a couple people from my same studio that are going to move, and some are going to different colleges, some are going to try to go get a dance job. Definitely some of my classmates are moving out and going to, you know, regular universities too.
It sounds like it's almost a norm for your peers and your family members in your life to pursue their dreams and branch out and go explore.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I guess everybody's kind of, you know, jumped out of the nest when they were 18, and so that makes me feel like I can probably do it too, because I'm seeing people around me do it.
Yeah. There's a lot of resources there for you too.
Yeah, that's true. I don't have to do it by myself. I can ask them, you know, what made things easier. I hadn't thought about that.
That sounds great. And how do you think your parents would react to this new idea of maybe going to a performing arts school and pursuing dance somewhere else? How do you think they would take it?
I think they'll be for it. I think their whole goal was just to get me to get a degree, and I think that I'll be doing that by doing this. So I'd for sure have to talk to them about it, but I feel like they'd be into it because I'm actually going to college and I never was doing it before. I mean, I feel like that's why we were having this misunderstanding. It's because they were saying it's your only option, and I was saying it's not an option, and now it kind of feels like a compromise between the two.
Wow, well, I'm getting that you're very willing to explore your options, and now that you've found resources and people that you could even go to. How about for our next session, Laura, you talk to your friend and get some more insight, and then when you come in next time, we can discuss your career, or if you do want to go to school, or if you still want to pursue dance only after you've gotten some more feedback from people that you can discuss with.
Yeah, that sounds great. I think I definitely can do that. I mean, I never thought of that as an option, so I think talking to her will really help a ton, just hearing about what it was like for her, and maybe I can see if that actually is an option for me too.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Thanks. That helps a lot.
Thanks for coming in, Laura.
Yeah.